Welcome, everyone, to an exciting conversation about the latest research on that longevity protein, SIRT5, and its role in delaying age-related skeletal muscle
Yeah,
decline.
absolutely. Right. So we're looking at how SIRT5 might act as a key defender against muscle aging, especially by modulating inflammation, correct?
Exactly, yep. The study we're diving into, led by Professor Liu Guangwei and Dr. Wang Si, really uncovers how SIRT5 interacts with TBK1, its desuccinylating activity to be precise, to tinker with inflammatory processes.
That's interesting. So, if I'm getting it right, the researchers observed that as muscles age in primate models, SIRT5 levels drop, which seems to trigger a cascade of events leading to muscle decline, right?
Absolutely, that's the core of it. Yes, they noticed several hallmarks of muscle aging: reduced muscle fiber size, shifts in fiber type composition, and increased inflammatory responses. And the loss of SIRT5 seems centrally important to that process.
Yeah, definitely. Now, here's a point I find really compelling. The team went on to use a lentiviral vector for gene therapy in aged mice to overexpress SIRT5. That's kind of a leap, isn't it?
It is indeed a bold move, yeah. Totally. It's like, they're turning back the clock on muscle aging by basically reviving muscle cell performance. In just 5 weeks, they observed improvements in physical performance, larger muscle fibers, and
Right,
reduced
yeah.
inflammation.
But don't you think using a gene therapy method like that might raise some red flags about safety and long-term effects?
That's a valid critique, absolutely. Exactly. I mean, sure, overexpressing SIRT5 in mice demonstrates proof of concept, but we need more research to address potential off-target effects, delivery mechanisms, and the longevity of these benefits.
Totally agree. Also, I find it fascinating how SIRT5 modulates TBK1. It's like, TBK1 is this central switch in the inflammatory pathway, and SIRT5's desuccinylation essentially disables the overactivation of inflammation.
Yeah, it's like a finely tuned dial, right? Right you are. It's like, imagine a thermostat that keeps the inflammation in check. Without SIRT5, it's like the thermostat goes haywire, and suddenly your muscle cells are bombarded by inflammatory signals, speeding up muscle degradation.
Sure, exactly. And then, by reintroducing or overexpressing SIRT5, it rebalances the system. That's a clever approach, but isn't it a bit optimistic to think that this could translate directly into human therapy?
I share that skepticism a bit, yeah. Absolutely. It's promising, but we're still in early stages. The fact that it was published in Nature Metabolism does lend it credibility, but translating primate and rodent results into human treatments will require significant further validation.
No doubt there. The study also highlights how, in aged cynomolgus monkey skeletal muscle, SIRT5 downregulation is a key molecular event associated with muscle degeneration. That connection between primate models and potential human applications seems
Yes,
like a
indeed,
major
it's a crucial bridge.
milestone.
And when you think about the implications, it's like, not only could this approach help maintain mobility and reduce falls in the elderly, but it might also stave off chronic diseases linked to muscle weakness.
Yeah, totally, that's huge. So, aside from the therapeutic promise, what do you see as the key mechanism? Just the inflammatory modulation by desuccinylation, or is there a broader impact on muscle stem
Good
cells
question,
too?
yeah. Well, the study did mention that aged muscle is characterized by a decline in muscle stem cell populations. And while SIRT5's main documented role here is in reducing inflammatory signals via TBK1 desuccinylation, this reduced inflammation might indirectly preserve those stem cells.
Makes sense. Right. Reducing inflammation could create a more favorable environment for stem cells to function and regenerate muscle tissue. It's interesting how interconnected these pathways are.
Exactly, it's like a domino effect. Yes, and when you think about it, these discoveries can open up a whole new frontier in developing gene therapies for age-related muscle decline and maybe even other aging-related conditions.
Indeed, it's a game changer. But I wonder, do we have any idea how sustainable the gene therapy effects are? Like, would this be a one-time treatment? or something you'd need
That's
periodically?
a great point, and honestly, it's still up in the air. Yeah, the study primarily focused on the short-term effects in aged mice, only 5 weeks of observation. Long-term sustainability, immune responses, and potential side effects will all need careful evaluation in subsequent research.
Definitely. And while our discussion is primarily centered on skeletal muscle, it raises broader questions about targeting aging pathways in other tissues as well. It's an intriguing paradigm shift, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's revolutionary. Right. It almost calls to mind how therapies in one system might inspire interventions in others. If you can modulate a key protein like SIRT5 to curb inflammation and preserve function, it could redefine how we
Yeah,
approach aging
precisely.
in multiple tissues.
Now, here's a twist. Some might argue that aging is a natural process and interventions might have unforeseen consequences down the road. What would you say to that skepticism?
That's true. And I totally understand where those concerns come from, yeah. Sure, while some argue for letting aging run its natural course, the counterpoint is that improved muscle function isn't just about vanity, it's about health, reducing fall risks, and enhancing quality of life for the elderly.
Absolutely. Indeed, the benefits could extend far beyond just muscle appearance. They've got real implications for mobility and overall well-being. But I'd still love to see more long-term
Spot
data.
on, no doubt. Follow-up studies, especially in larger models and eventually clinical trials, will be essential to solidify these findings. It's like we're just scratching the surface of what
Yeah,
SIRT5
it's the
can
beginning
do.
of a fascinating journey. So to sum up, SIRT5 holds promise not only in rejuvenating aging skeletal muscle by modulating inflammatory pathways, but it might also pave the way for new gene therapy strategies to combat other age-related degenerative diseases. Pretty
Absolutely,
exciting
very
stuff.
exciting indeed. And while we're enthusiastic, we're also mindful that science takes time. Robust testing, safety evaluations, and longer-term studies are crucial.
No doubt there. Thanks for joining this deep dive into how a protein like SIRT5 could change the aging game. I'm sure there's a lot more on the horizon as this research progresses.
Definitely looking forward to more breakthroughs. Appreciate the great discussion, and until next time, keep questioning and exploring these exciting scientific frontiers.
For sure. See you next time.